Alright, other than the fan being really, really loud, I put a couple of coats of clear on here. This is working out really, really good. Got plenty of room. I have one can over there that was spitting and sputtering, so there's something wrong with the tip. So I figured I'll use that can up and then take the top off of it, put it on that one. Trying to figure out what to use for a stand for this thing. Sorry. And I came across some of these, I don't know what we call them, basket chairs. Works out perfect for hanging a guitar. Lots of room. And it's up high enough to not interfere with the blower. So when I spray, there's fresh air coming in here. I am personally wearing a mask. And then it goes into these filters. It's working out really nice. Don't have the light system in here yet. So I just have a halogen sitting on top of the garbage can. It works out great. So I'm gonna go hit this for another coat. I do have a exhaust fan in the window, but this, I don't smell nothing outside of this booth at all. Alright, so let's go through it again. If I need to turn it, I just reach at the top over here. Turn it by hand to the size that I need, and then start spraying again. That's it. A nice clear coat on there. Pretty much dust free. Yeah, so this is working out really good. It's not really cloudy in here. And if I spray, like, you see the spray go right out through the filter. Works out great. Now I could use this side to open up and go in and out, but the problem with it is a lot of the airflow is being pushed up against this wall. So I'll use the smaller door to travel in and out of this thing. But it's holding its own, it's working really good. I mean, there is a little bit of a cloud to it, you can kind of see it, but it's not bad at all. But again, I'm still wearing a mask. So I have the headstock here that I gotta spray. So I gotta put you guys down so I can do that. Beautiful. And I just rest that over here. Let that tack up and dry. And out the door I go. And since the air is not really blowing out this doorway on this side too much, I trap the overspray in there. And I don't smell nothing out here. The garage isn't cloudy. The floor isn't getting dusty. I take my mask off. Try to get it over my glasses. And just let it do its thing. So if I look inside there, it's not cloudy. So it works out pretty damn nice. The only thing I forgot to do was clean the tip of the paint, the clear can, but that's all right. So I'll let that sit for about a half an hour and then hit it again. See if I go close like this. Oh yeah, it's pretty big. Hey everybody, what's going on? Hope you guys are doing good. I'm actually doing really good, surprising of, you know, what ended up happening with me. But gallbladder thing is kind of subsiding itself with the help of some enzymes that I'm taking as well. That makes just the stomach, you know, not being so much uncomfortable. And it's basically for people who had their gallbladder removed. You don't have to take it all the time. It's just like right after you had the gallbladder removed, it just starts helping things kind of heal and move on a little bit, progress a little bit faster. So I've got a couple of things going on. I've got the spray booth in the garage that I'm working on, the Jackson V, and that's getting its last of the clear coats. So I figured, well, I need to get started working on other people's guitars as well. So I end up doing the grain filler on the Warmoth body. And I have the other body set aside. I have to maybe do a little bit of wood grain filler on the back, nothing really major on the front. But this thing had enamel on it. And if you know how enamel is when sanding, it's a pain in the ass because enamel doesn't turn into a powder, it turns into flakes and it turns into melted paint. If you heat it up too much, you get smearing and stuff on it. This was a bitch to strip. They had a lot of it on here and I kind of see why they did. So a lot of the wood grain didn't show up through the paint, but a lot of it kind of did. There also was some low spots, like right here is a low spot in the wood. And what I'm using is this Good Filler wood grain filler. This stuff works really good, and they have a whole variety of different types of fillers and different types of applications you can use with it. There's a gel that you can use. Look them up online as far as like watching videos and how to use this stuff. I'm probably going to be using this a lot for doing grain filling, and also for, you can add on some of this stuff, and I think it was the gel version of it, that you can add like food coloring to it or any type of a little bit of a pigment dye, something that's either water-based. And what can happen with it is you end up tinting it. So you can fill up your wood grain, tinting the wood grain at the same time. Also with like flame maple and quilted maples, you can kind of do the same thing with that, and it'll highlight, you know, the striping or the clouding of whichever one you have. So it's kind of cool, and I want to try doing it. Also, this stuff is stainable, and you could spray anything over it if you wanted to do any type of a clear coat or sanding sealer or whatever. So what I got going on here is I got a block. I have a
you know, just a tube from my drum sander so I can get into like around these edges over here. And like I said, there's some real deep parts of the wood, and there's also some areas over here that are kind of like, you know, a little bit of seeing the stripes going this way. That is because those are all low spots, and now they are sanded nice and smooth. I also filled up any holes and stuff. It's pretty durable to do that. Again, over here there was some low spots in the wood that this stuff filled out pretty good. But I made a heavy mix for this, and what I ended up doing is using a little bit of it, putting it inside here. Yeah, it doesn't look very appetizing, does it? Well, you're not supposed to eat it. You're supposed to work with it. But I made it kind of thick, put it on by hand, not really squeegeeing it. I put it on by hand so I could force it into the wood grain a little bit more. And after looking at some of the instructions on how you use this, I should have thinned this out a lot more, and I could have filled in the grain a lot more easier doing so. But this is not going to be the only time I'm going to fill in this grain. Once I do something else with this body that I ended up picking up, I'm going to end up going over this with a thinner filler on it. Now, the Les Paul that I got for Greene Terror, that really doesn't need too much wood grain at all. I think a primer will take care of that one. This one just has some very deep pores. If you can kind of see it, I mean, it's really, you can kind of see it's really in there, and it fills them up. So once I get this ready to do my sanding sealer on it, that's when the other Les Paul body will be also going in the garage as well to get sanding sealer on that as well. So this one here, I ended up ordering something else for it that I don't know if the owner actually wants it or not, but as you can tell, there's binding on this. It's a cream colored binding, and the paint style of this, excuse me, is going to be black and white. So nothing is going to match cream, you know. So I ended up picking up, excuse me again. No, all of a sudden I get the hiccups, right? All right, so this is 5 pieces, and 1 piece is supposed to be able to go around a whole acoustic body. So I got 5 of them in here, and what I'm going to do is pluck this out, replace the binding, then I'll go with a thinner coat of the grain filler on here, sand that down, and then hit it with the Mohawk sanding sealer. Now the Mohawk sanding sealer is a lacquer, so that's going to take a lot longer to cure up and dry, so that's going to make things kind of like you know, kind of progress a little bit longer than what I would like. But I'm using the good stuff, not using, you know, crap, and whatever time it takes to basically get it from point A to point B, I'm just going to give it that time in order to get a nice finish on these guitars. Both of them are going to get custom looks, and again, I don't want any issues with finish, you know, if I put any masking tape on it or anything else. So the way that I'm going to remove this binding is with acetone. Some of the binding is already loose enough that I can kind of pull it away from the body, so it's not that big of a deal. This binding here is a little bit thinner than what this one is, but as I'm looking at this binding, it's like thin around here, a little bit thicker here, thin over here. It's not consistently the same thickness all the way around this thing. It's a little thinner over here. To the eye, you can kind of see it. If this was sprayed black and the binding was scraped, you probably see it very, very easily. And I don't want that. So I'm going to replace the binding with white, put it where it's supposed to be with the color code or color matching that I'm doing with it. All right, so I'm going to go back to doing some work over here. And it's just a little update of what I've been doing and how it's been going on. So you guys take it easy, and I will be back with more videos.